Hi guys, and welcome to another 6 product review. Today I'm going to be covering off another great product from UrbanMatz, who we recently teamed up with to allow us to bring a little bit more diversity and character to our battlefields. Today I'm going to be reviewing one of their double-sided mats. It's the new size, which is the 44 by 60 inches, which is the kind of standard now for Warhammer 40k games. It's sort of the 2,000 point mark, which is where we tend to play our games. That this is going to be the sort of standard size for most tournament settings now. So I previously owned a couple of different mats that were great, but they were the bigger size, and sort of I wanted to get one that was more suitable for the current state of affairs. So the mat that I'm going to be reviewing today is the two-sided Cobblestone and Badlands. So one is kind of earthy looking. I mean, I haven't opened it yet, but based on the pictures that I've seen, and one of the things I'll be looking at is how sort of what the likeness is to the pictures. And also the Cobblestone, which is kind of a little bit more, again, country, sort of muddy type stuff, but a little bit more paved and things like that as well. So without further ado, let's get the bag and let's start the review. Okay, so full disclosure, before the product review actually starts, we should be open and honest with you to say that we have received these products at a substantially discounted price. However, that's not going to change our opinion of the products. We're certainly under no obligation to give a favourable review for that reason. So obviously, we want to give you the best information that we can. So just keep that in mind as we're going through. Again, just for the sake of being open and transparent with you guys. Okay, so the first things, I guess, is the ordering process. So relatively straightforward. They have UrbanMatz have a good website. You can sort of see pictures of the products on there, as well as some other testimonials as well. Ordering, once you order, it is dispatched from the Czech Republic, but that actually didn't seem to cause any delay in the shipping that we had. In fact, obviously having recently gone through the Brexit period, I kind of expected there to be a delay at customs. Whether or not we were lucky and that just didn't happen, I don't know, but it certainly arrived within 4 or 5 days of dispatch, which is excellent. In terms of how it came packaged, it was the mat was in a long cardboard box. Absolutely felt secure. I'd have no issues with sort of expecting any damage to come from that either. Okay then guys, so we have the tables ready. Time to lay out the mat and see how it looks. I guess first impressions are that it comes in your classic black carry bag. So you've got straps on here to sort of help transport it. I actually quite like the new size, because I found that with the old ones you quite often get a dip in the middle and then it'd be quite hard to hold. These ones, as a consequence of the new size, don't really have that issue. It depends really how often you're going to be carrying your bags around, whether or not you think that's going to make much difference to you. For me personally, I typically play either at home with my own mats, or at gaming club where there's mats provided, or at friends where they also have their own. So not a huge deal for me, but if you are travelling, then it's definitely something worth noting. The quality of the bag, I mean, it's absolutely fine. Very similar to the ones I've got from other companies, but I mean, it does exactly what you need it to do, so no issues there. The only other thing this one does also have, so if you can see that from there, there's a little tag on there, and this just says what it is. So in this case, I've just got Cobblestone Battlefield 2 44 by 60 by UrbanMatz, and that is just like a piece of card. To be honest with you, the other mats that I've got, they have a slightly nicer tag on them that sort of give you a chance to write who it belongs to, and you could do that on this, but they're laminated and things like that, so that this one feels a little bit more like it could rip, but again, it's really going to come down to personal preference to you and what you're going to use your mat for, and if you're going to transport it, if that's going to be an issue. More importantly, let's open it up and let's take a look at how it actually looks and how it's going to function. Okay, so initial impressions, it's that nice mouse pad material that I know I like, and I think most people do, because it kind of dampens the sound of your dice when you're playing, so that's a good start. This to me, let me just open it out here, we can have a good look here. Looks like we're going to do Cobblestone first, so look at that. So, in terms of how it feels and how it looks, I'll bring the camera a little bit closer in a minute. My initial impression is that it provides a nice framing for any battle. This one in particular looks like it would be good for snowy ruins, type terrain, less for like rocks and stuff like that. So it's always something to consider when you're buying a mat is, do I have the appropriate terrain to go with it? Something I like to consider is, do I have the models that would look right on it as well? So depending on how you base your models, it may or may not look right. As I'm looking at it now, I'm not seeing any obvious indication of a map for like the centre of the battlefield or any deployment zones. That is kind of a nice thing to have, but I understand obviously the game is constantly changing and those things. If you had them everywhere, it would just look an absolute shambles. So absolutely no issues that it doesn't, and the same that I could mark off myself as well. Okay then, so this is the cobblestone side of the map. As you can see, there is quite a lot of detail on here, and it's broken up nicely by little bits of character, so like breaks in the pathway, some cracks in the road, drain it looks like over there. So yeah, all in all, I think it looks really good. One of my concerns with having a double-sided map when I raised this with somebody else was that it might end up being slippery, because obviously you have both sides of the map. Normally you'd have one as like the classic rubber, and this one sort of as your mouse pad style. Just giving it a little tug there. It doesn't actually, I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. So all in all, very happy with that. I guess my only concern at the moment is how this side's not quite laying flat. Obviously it has been rolled in its packaging for a little while now, so we just need to sort of let it sit, and I'm sure that problem will correct itself. Let's go over to the other side and we'll have a look at that. Okay guys, so we're back, and now we are looking at the Badlands side, and I must say straight away this one jumps out at me as being a really, really effective design. What you've got, and if you've seen the other product view, you'll have already seen this map, but what you've got is effectively a sort of a torn up muddy field type terrain, plenty of rocks to sort of separate out what the just to give a little variation in what you're looking at, which makes it a lot more visually appealing. Again, I think this would be suitable if you had hills. This would work much better. Forests would certainly sit right on this one, but I think you could also get away with some sort of classic ruins, or maybe even some AdMech style structures, if that's the sort of thing you like to play with. Quality wise, again, you can sort of see it. So come a little bit closer. You can see, it does look like rocks in the ground. It's not just doesn't just look like a printed pattern. As you get closer, it certainly adds a level of effectiveness to it. And in fact, what I'm going to do is just grab a piece of terrain and grab a couple of models I think would look nice on this, and we can sort of see how it blends together. I think that will sort of give you a more striking representation of how the map actually looks. Okay, so we're back, and what I've done is just picked out a couple of models that I think work really nicely on this particular map. So I've taken some that have their sort of grassy brown tones, and you can sort of just see how nicely they sort of blend in with the map. Obviously having the combination of those three different things, with the stone, with the mud and the grass, sort of gives it that nice, looks like it belongs rather than stands out. If that's a consideration for you, then it's always worth picking a map that makes sense for the terrain style that you've got and the army basing that you've got. So for instance, some of my models are on a sort of astrogranite style snowy base, which wouldn't really work on this side. However, one of the benefits of the double-sided is that would work quite nicely against this cobblestone side. So just something to keep in mind. But yeah, I'm really happy overall with the effect and the quality of that. I've just put down a couple small bits of scenery just so you can sort of see how they might look on here as well. Again, the ruins, maybe not a perfect match for this one, better on the other side, but the craters work quite nicely and blend quite nicely in. I do have some other terrain I think will look great on this, and there'll be more on that soon. So I'm going to just come back with some final thoughts, and we'll go over to pricing and some other factors as well. Well guys, now you've had a chance to look up close at both of the mats, and obviously so have I, and to come back with my thoughts on that. So as I look at the print quality and I compare that to how it looks on the website, I've absolutely got no issues with how the quality is represented. And I think what you order is what you're going to get. And there's certainly no bleed or anything like that around any of the printing on there, and I think that's just a testament to the nice quality that it is. In terms of the material itself, it's a decent thickness. It's certainly not too heavy or anything like that. I've got some that again are made by other companies that are thicker. Whether or not that's an improvement, I don't know. Perhaps one of the benefits could be slightly more muffled sound. but obviously this is a double-sided, so what we don't have is a thicker rubber underside, perhaps, and I don't know. Some of the other UrbanMatz may have that sort of traditional black underside as well. In terms of if I would recommend this product, I absolutely would. If you're looking for a gaming mat, particularly one of this style, and in my opinion these are the better style rather than the PVC or the boards. While some of the boards look absolutely incredible, they're not quite as easy to move around, to transport, and to sort of marry up your different kinds of terrain with. Obviously you're fixed really with the style that you've got. I went for a double-sided for a number of reasons. Firstly, it was just 2 mats in one, so I really like some nice variety in the battlefields that I play on. And then it takes up half as much space. So whilst they're not, big, you still need to find a home for these bags. And again, if you're taking them around to a friend's or to a gaming club, then you have 2 options every time you play. So you can find the one that's most suitable for you and your opponent's armies to play on, which is what it's all about really, is just creating that nice battlefield environment. The other thing to consider is price. I think all of us in the hobby can be price sensitive. We've only got a certain amount of budget to spend on shiny new models and toys. So that is something to consider as well. The reason I went for a double-sided is I felt like it represented good value. So for comparison's sake, one of the regular sort of single-sided mats is €65, 65.90 I believe, and if you want a double-sided, it's €89.90. So if you sort of compare those two things, you're sort of paying just less than 50% more for 100% more mat, if you know what I mean, so because you're getting 2 playable sides. So cost-wise, very effective. So really guys, that concludes my review. Overall, I would say that the product represents really good value for money. It's certainly one that I'm looking forward to using, and you'll certainly see in some of our upcoming videos. The print quality is good, the packaging is good, the quality of the product itself is great as well. And perfectly for me, it fits nicely in with my armies. If it doesn't fit nicely in with your armies, there are some other styles available. I think the double-sided styles are more limited. So obviously you've seen this one here, which was the Cobblestone and the Badlands. There's also a Badlands and sort of desert style, which we show in our other product review of the UrbanMatz. If you're looking for more double-sided, I think that's the whole range. But if you look at the single-sided and in other sizes as well, you can see certainly a wider range of patterns, and I think there's always been sort of more designed and added to. Obviously, this one I've shown you is a 44x60, but there are a number of different sizes as well. If you still like to play on the classic Games Workshop 6x4, you can get that. There's also sort of more suitable ones for smaller games as well. So yeah, overall, really impressed with the quality of the product, and I can't wait to show it to you in some actual battle reports very soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.